Hey guys, welcome to my channel Eat. I'm Gayatri. Today in this video, we'll see an application that will tell our weight on moon. So the application would look like this. So here we'll enter our weight and application will tell what would be our weight if we stand on moon. Okay, let's see the application. So right here, it's asking me, hey, do you want to know your weight on moon? Let me enter my weight here. So it's 50 kgs. And if I submit,
Your weight on moon is 8 kilograms.
okay. So I can enter any other weight as well. Say you can enter in your weight, maybe 20, 30, 40, whatever is your weight.
Your weight on moon is 3 kilograms.
Okay. Let us see how to program this. So this is a code.org project. So in Google search for code.org and you get the link. And we are in the homepage of code.org. Click on create and select AppLab. So we have our screen here. You can see the design and the code part here. First we'll do the design. This is how it looks on our screen, and code is to program. Okay. So in screen one, you choose a theme of your choice. You have a theme here. So in the theme, see in the design toolbox, you can see theme here. And from the drop down, select any theme of your choice. Okay. So we need a label to write, enter your, do you want to know your weight on moon, right? So it for that you should choose label here, the label, and drop it on the screen. And we'll enlarge that label. And you can see the text. Default, it is written text. Remove this and write, hey, do you want to know your weight on moon? So I have my text here. We'll increase the text size. And we'll adjust the text here on the screen. So I have my text here. Now user has to enter his text. For that we should use text input, right? To use any value from the user, we should always use text input. So drag it and drop it here. So I have my text input here. I'll enlarge this text input as well. So we can write a text in the text input as well. So in the placeholder part, right here, enter your weight. See, I am from India and we use kg as our unit of measurement. If you are using pound, then you can mention enter your weight in pounds. Okay. The calculation parts remains the same. You can just use your units. Okay. Enter your weight. I have written here. So I'll increase the font size for this as well. Okay. Now we need a button, right, to submit. So go to this button. Here you can see the button here. Drag and drop it here. Okay. So we'll change the text for this button. You can see here. For the text for this button is button, right? We'll change it to submit. And I want a red color background for this button. So you can see here background color. So click here on the color and choose color of your choice. Let me select red. See, here is my red color, right? So I'll select that and select here. So I have red color here. Okay. So this is the design part, and now go to screen 2. In here in the drop down, select new screen. So I have my another screen here. This is for the output. So take a label here, enlarge it. So this is to say what is your weight on moon, right? Remove the text part here, just keep it empty, and then again take a label. See, I will write it as kg, but you can use pounds as well here. See, there are two text inputs here. I have kept it side by side, right? So in the text part, I'll write it kg. Alternatively, you can use pounds. Or if you're using any other unit, mention that in the comment section. So I'll also know what is the unit of weight in your country. Okay. So I have this here, and I'll also add a button called back, right? See here in the button, drag and drop it here. I'll keep it here. This is to go back to the previous screen. Okay. So change the text here to back, right? Design part is done. So we'll go to code part. So we'll program it now. This, let me be in screen one now. See, from the drop down, select screen one. See, from the UI controls, select on event, drag it and drop it here. Okay. See, this is the button, right? When you hover over the submit button, you can see ID is button one. So on event, from this drop down, select button one. So when button one is clicked, we need to calculate the weight, right? See, weight on moon is weight divided by 6. Okay. So if your weight on earth is say 60 kgs, then 60 divided by 6 is 10, right? So weight on moon is 10 kgs. Okay. So similarly, whatever is your weight, that divided by 6, the number that you get, that will be your weight on moon. Okay. So we need to do that calculation here in the code part. So when the button one is clicked, I should move to screen 2, right? So this is my screen 2. So select here in the UI controls, just scroll down and check what we have for screen. So you have a set screen here, right? Select that and drop it here. And from the drop down, select screen 2. So what we did is when button 1 is clicked, you should move to screen 2. So that is designed. Now we need to calculate what should be written here in the text part, right? For that, scroll here a little up and you get set text, right? Right here, set text. See what is the text? ID is label 2. When you hover here, you can see it is label 2. So set label 2. So what should be in the label 2? It is a math, right? You need to calculate weight divided by 6, right? For that, go to math and select the division operator here. See the fourth one. You can see a slash here. That's the divide operator. So drag and drop it here on text. I'll show it again. Select the divide operator and drop it on text here. All right. Now, what is this part? This is the weight entered by user, right? So that will be here on screen 1. Here it will be. So the ID is text input 1. So we need to text input 1 divided by 6, right? So how do we get what is written here? So for that, go to UI controls, select get text by ID. Can you see here? Get text by ID, drag and drop it here. I'll show again, drag and drop it here on the first circle you can see, right? So get text by ID. What is the ID here? It is text input 1, right? So from the drop down, select text input 1. So now I'll run my application. Enter your weight. For example, it is 30, maybe 36. Submit. You can see here it is written 6 kg. Okay, so it has entered the weight, but we want now text to speech conversion, right? So for that, in the UI controls, scroll down. You can see here play speech, right? Drag and drop it here. Okay, I'll show it again. Select play speech from your UI controls and drop it here. So by default, it is hello world. So if I run my application now, it will say hello world, but I want it to say the weight that is entered here, right? For that, if I hover here, from, let me go to screen 2. Now if I hover here, you can see label 2, right? So place page label 2. For that, in the UI controls, you can see here get text by ID, right? Drag it and drop it in place of hello world. You can see hello world, right? Drop it on hello world. So the ID is label 2, right? So from the drop down select label 2. So it's not 12, it is label 2. Okay. Play speech, get text label 2, and here you have options. You can choose female or male voice. So let it be female, and English is the default language. Okay, you can select any other language if you're from any other country. Okay, let me run and see here. Enter your weight. For example, I'll enter 36.
6,
See, it is telling 6, right? I want application to say your weight on moon is 6 kg. So you should observe that there are 3 parts in the sentence, which I say. I'll say it again. Your weight on moon is 6 kg. So your weight on moon is the first part, 6 is the second part, and kg is the third part, right? So for that, we should not directly enter get the text. So let me take it back and drop it here. Okay, go to math. Here you can see plus operator, right? The first one, drag and drop it here. Okay, this is for the first one, your weight is. Then here it will say 6, and then I want to say kg, right? Or if you're using pounds, it is pounds. So I used math twice. I'll show it again. I'll drop it back. See, in the place of hello world, go to math, select the plus operator, drop it here. And on the second circle, again go to math, select the plus operator and drop it here on the second circle. All right. So now the first in double quotation, see in double quotation you write your weight on moon is, weight on moon is, and close the double quotation. Okay. And then here you write, you go to UI controls and you can see here get text by ID, right? Select it and drop it here on this circle. Okay, the first circle. I'll show again. So you have, it is like this, right? So from UI control, select get text by ID and drop it here on the first circle you see here. Okay, so the ID is, go to screen 2. You can see here the ID is label 2, right? So from the drop down select label 2. And now I want to attach my units, right? Again, write it in the double quotes. Double quote, then I'll write kg and close the double quote. You can write pound as well. So double quote kg and close the double quote, right? So now if I run my application, I'll enter my weight as 36 and submit.
your weight on moon is 6 kg.
Okay, it is telling 6. See, and see the 6 is looking very small, right? So go to design part and go to screen 2 here, and then click on this. So now we will change the properties for that. Make the font size as 20 here. See the font size is here, right? It was 13. I made it 20. Okay. So now see, I'll show you one funny thing here. See, I suppose I enter my weight here. Say 50 kgs and submit.
Your weight on moon is 8.3333333333333334 kg.
So we do not want these many decimal numbers, right? So for that, we will round off the number to the nearest one. So for that, see, take this get text. This block is there, right? You just drag it and drop it here. So we are basically deleting the block here from set text. Okay. So go to math. In the toolbox, select math, and you can see here math dot round, right? Drag and drop it here in the circle. Okay. beside label 2 you can see a circle, right? Drop it here. Okay, math dot round. Now select division operator here, the fourth one, divide operator, and drop it here in this circle. Okay, so the first circle should contain the text, right, entered by the user. So go to UI controls in toolbox, select get text ID. Okay, see here you can see get text ID, select it and drop it here in the first circle, and the ID will be text input 1. Okay, and then here divided by 6. Okay, let us run our application. Enter your weight in kgs. It would be 50.
Your
Submit.
weight on moon is 8 kg.
So it's reading our weight. Now, see, I want to go back to the first screen to enter my weight again. For that, we should program for this back button, right? So for that, in UI controls, the first one on event, right? Select that and drop it here. So on event ID, the ID of this back button is, go to screen 2. See, if you hover here, you can see ID is button 2, right? So for on event, select button 2. If button 2 is clicked, from the UI controls, scroll down and see set screen. You can see here, right? Set screen, screen 1, drag and drop it here. So there is no need to change the screen here. It's right. Screen 1 is the correct one. We need to move. Correct. So now let me run my application. Enter your weight, say 30 kg, submit.
Your weight on moon is 5 kg.
And if I press back button, I go back here, right?
Your weight on moon is 8 kg.
I hope you have enjoyed programming this. Do share this with your friends. See you soon. Bye bye.